Mute that. There you go. Greetings, lords and masters of the universe. My name is James Walsh, and you are checking into the Wrestling Epicenter News Update. The guy who named shit is on vacation. So, a quick update for you for the date of January 21st, 2022, the day that will live in infamy because tonight it's Friday night. You know what that means? It's Friday Night SmackDown as well as AEW Rampage. And it might be the first Rampage in a while that's interesting to tune into because it's going to be live. So the expectations could be higher because it is live. So hopefully that is the case. Let's check out some of these headlines. So to do that, if you're following along at home, grab your typing device. For me, it's a computer keyboard and type in
Operation has been completed.
Wrestling Epicenter and type in WrestlingEpicenter.com. Oop, and I went to our store. Let's try that again. Okay. That was not an intentional advertisement for our store, but it just happened. So let's take a look and see what we've posted in terms of news today on WrestlingEpicenter.com. So a couple of headlines included Deonna Purrazzo would like to see Toni Storm appear for Impact Wrestling. Of course, she voluntarily departed WWE in December, so that was an interesting change of plans on her part. It would make sense. Juice Robinson, who she may or may not be engaged to, because she may or may not be into dudes, is working for Impact, so that's something to keep an eye on. TBS and Tony Khan both touted the AEW Dynamite viewership, which surpassed WWE, not in overall, but in the key demo. So that is a victory. For me, I'm all about the overall. That's just me, but I understand advertisers like the key demo, so there you go. And I'm still within that key demo. Not as much as I'd like to be, but I still am. Will Drew McIntyre be back in time for the Royal Rumble? It looks like he's working hard to get there, but we're not sure. We'll have to tune in to the Rumble as we get on the road to WrestleMania to find out. Let's see here. Former hair model and football player turned WWE NXT star told to cut his hair. I'm sure this is something similar to Mike Bucci, except it's not. Mike Bucci was Simon Dean, by the way, and even though he'll lie, well, I don't want to say lie. I like Mike, but he was told to cut his hair because he looked too much like Triple H. And anybody who believes different is believing the same thing that Shane Helms tells you. It's good that they named him after a Nazi because, see, when I was changed, it was good for my career. I'm a suck ass. That is Shane Helms in a nutshell right there. Let's see here. Let's see, what else we got? Preview for tonight's AEW Rampage. Now, as I mentioned, it is an interesting card. It has changed since I posted this. So we got Hook against Serpentico, who I believe is the midget that follows around Uncle Fester in the Riot Project, Chaos Project, something like that. The Young Bucks versus Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. That is the change that I was talking about. Rocky Romero is no longer going to be appearing. So if you had dibs on seeing the ramen noodle sushi gang or whatever the hell they were called in New Japan that apparently we're supposed to know and don't, they're not going to be teaming up because Rocky Romero has the Kung Flu. So he will be out. We hope he gets well soon, but it's going to be Nick Jackson versus Trent Beretta instead, which actually might end up being a better match. I'm just saying. The AEW TBS Hose Championship is on the line as Jade Cargill defends against Anna Jay. And the main event is going to be the return of Mox. John Moxley in the ring against Ethan Page. All ego Ethan Page. And that could be good too. It looks like a good show. It looks like a solid show for Rampage. Better than they've been a few weeks in a row now where I've watched them in fast forward on speed search with very little interest in stopping. So yeah, this looks like a good show. Let's see, Matt Hardy reflects on the Hardy Boys with a Z, for those on YouTube who yelled at me for using a Z. The Hardy Boys is spelled with a Z. Against the Dudley Boys, also spelled with a Z. Devon Dudley is in full control of the 24/7 championship, so he's got that for his resume. I'm not sure what that would be. Mickie James will deliver a State of the Knockouts division address next week on Impact Wrestling. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Some people are suspecting that she might relinquish the title as she's going to be appearing for the WWE Royal Rumble, so we will find out about that. All these headlines, by the way, if you want to read a whole article, I'm not going to read them to you. You can just go to the website, WrestlingEpicenter.com, click the link, and you can read them for yourself. WWE is disappointed with the NXT 2.0 backstage. Maybe you shouldn't have fired everyone. Just a hell of an idea. How could you be disappointed after you literally let everybody involved in the project go? My goodness. I mean, I can't follow that particular bouncing ball. Can you? AEW to pay tribute to Jimmy Rave. I'm sorry, Impact Wrestling to pay tribute to Jimmy Rave next week in his own Impact in 60 special. I recorded the Daphne one a couple months ago. Great thing that they do. There's not a lot of production that goes into it. It really is just showing old matches, and there's no, like, exclusive interviews. At least there wasn't for Daphne. But it is cool that they are able to pay tribute. And I want to also throw this out there. They were the only ones to run a banner and pay tribute to Jimmy Rave, just as they were the only ones to pay tribute to Daphne. And if you want to know why, I'll always stand and hold the flag of Impact Wrestling on WrestlingEpicenter.com. It's because of things like that. Small things like that matter. Tributes and honoring the history of wrestling matter. And for those two who are both young people to no longer be with us is horrible. Impact Wrestling aces in my book. Mark Henry needs shoulder surgery. I guess he reckons he got back in the ring, but if he did, I don't know where it was. I didn't see it. Let's see here. NJPW. Impact Wrestling announces big matches for upcoming TV taping. So that'll be next week's TV taping in Southern Florida. And then we got Jim Cornette suggests that AEW needs to stop letting their talent do indie bookings. Did you catch the part about Jon Moxley being announced for GCW before he was announced for Impact? Why am I getting Impact and AEW mixed up? Damn that Forbidden Door. Before he was announced to return on Dynamite? Come on. Who do you think pays him more? I know GCW is trying to build itself as the new ECW and pick up the scraps from Ring of Honor, which, by the way, they're not going to be scraps for too long because they're coming back. But you have to understand that big dollar contracts mean something. And if those smaller companies are usurping the value of these talents by using them in a company that admittedly has a little bit of fire behind it right now in GCW, then I think AEW needs to cut those strings. They can't allow their talent to do those shows. And if FTR versus the Briscoes ends up happening in GCW, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the Briscoes may well return to the new version of Ring of Honor. Maybe that's what they're not signing with AEW for. But if it is just simply laziness or not knowing how to get the job done in terms of bringing them in to have this match, I think Tony Khan, I'll stop there. He needs some help. Rocky Romero pulled from AEW Rampage. I got the company right that time. Due to COVID-19. We knew that. We just told you that. There you go. And Warner Media wasn't pleased with WWE's unprofessional press release regarding AEW Rampage and the girls match, which saw blood from the Bunny and Anna Jay and girls like that. So I felt like that was a word salad press release personally. I think it was very Stephanie McMahon done. Call me crazy. I have no evidence to back up that it was Stephanie, but that's my view. Let's see here. I'm going to show you something else. If you pop this URL in, WrestlingEpicenter.com, Facebook.com/WrestlingEpicenter. Let's see what we got here. We post a lot of boobies on our page, and I thought you might like to see it. Many of the topics we talked about here are featured in with some sexy pictures. That's not particularly sexy. There's nothing wrong with it, but that one, however, very sexy. That is Mickie James from her Instagram page, and hot damn if that's not a good picture. Doing okay on the like front, 20 likes, and I only posted it a little bit ago. Kind of include for the Jimmy Rave post a picture of Christy Hemme because hot damn was she ever gorgeous. Madison Rayne doing what Madison Rayne used to do, and that was always a nice thing. There's a story about GCW. Got a few others. You got the Stinger from yesterday, the Stinger, and then there's a Deonna Purrazzo picture. So if you want to find pictures like this of Lita, of Deonna Purrazzo, Mickie James, get updates of the news as well as maybe get some jollies from these pictures, please do check out WrestlingEpicenter.com. We are here for you all the time. And follow us on Facebook. Wrestling Epicenter is our handle. Facebook.com/Wrestling Epicenter. And of course, I encourage you to check out our store. I mentioned that store a moment ago because I ended up at the website there prematurely. I prematurely shopped. What you do is you go to WrestlingEpicenter.com, you click the store button, and here you'll see all of our great products, which include items such as classic wrestling, Dirty Divas, International Wrestling, and beyond, all on DVD. You also could get official wrestling merchandise, including t-shirts, hats, and AEW action figures, WCW action figures, WWE action figures, and more. All of that can be found all over the website. Just follow these simple-to-follow guidelines. For those action figures, as mentioned, go to the WWE section, because we don't have an AEW section, and click the action figures button. There you'll see some of our AEW selections as well as our WCW selections and WWE and beyond. So if you want to find all this great stuff, keep us going free and clear, we encourage you to do so. WrestlingEpicenter.com is the place. And this has been James Walsh, and this is your Wrestling Epicenter update. Da 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 da.